So, hello, family. It's Becca, Valkyrie. I'm on my way to take a dip in my fountain of youth to get energized. I'm going to be making some organite in the next couple of days. I'm going to make some tower busters, which is they're made with the cheaper resins and the cheaper materials. We call them tower busters because there's been a lot of new towers put around my area, and I don't know if you guys know much about organite. I'll tell you a little bit about it, but tower busters are cheap and easy to make, and we gift them around town. I gift them around all the new all the towers regularly. A lot of times real powerful ones will call the black helicopters for a while. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, organite is based on the research of Willhelm Reich, who sadly died in jail in the United States, as a matter of fact. He had come here to help some people in the Dust Bowl in the 40s, I guess it was, who were suffering from, no doubt, well, we know what caused those droughts, actually, in the Dust Bowl times. But we won't go into that. They were suffering from lack of rain. Farmers were dying and losing their incomes and their ability to farm. So they called Willhelm Reich, who had devised using copper piping and pipes and orgone energy, a way to make rain. And of course he did make rain, and at that point the FBI, he was arrested later, and his work was confiscated, and he was put in jail. I can't remember the charge they used, but sadly he died in jail here in the States. He had been a disciple of Freud at one time, and with Jung and many others, and he had broken off and gone into his own research concerning energy that he had discovered in the ether, the air, the energy of life, he called it. It's actually the blue, the beautiful blue that you see in those NASA pictures. That's around that shows around the atmosphere. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm in a really weird bright light, but anyway, that's orgone energy is what it looks like. He was able, actually, in his lab to produce that blue color. He used iron ore and somehow put it in the solution and was able to actually have life begin growing off the iron ore. And it was a blue color, like the blue around the planet. Anyway, organite, when you make it, and you use the way organite works, and he also built these fabulous accumulator boxes, organite accumulator boxes that people could put either parts of their body in or sit in their whole bodies, and was able to cure. Now, this is for information only. I mean, for entertainment only. He was able to cure the CA and CER and every other kind of illness that people suffered from at that time. And he had a wonderful group of researchers working with him. Anyway, he was a great, great man. You can study his research. Orgon is named after orgasm, which is the life energy he considered. So he calls it organite. Basically, what my organite tests to do, it turns positive ions into negative ions, and the earth is negative ions. And when we talk about grounding, like walking, getting barefoot on Mother Earth to let the negative ions, that's grounding us. Our body needs that desperately, and we live in a positively charged environment, especially with the 5G and all this stuff that's coming out. It's getting worse and worse. So organite that I make, and just like his accumulator boxes were made with layers. You make layers of inorganic and organic material layered upon each other. And with organite that I make two different kinds. Of course, I make the tower busters. I've also made a cloud buster with copper piping recently. It's in my yard. It's doing some amazing things. It's kind of ugly too, but it's okay. And then I make the decorative organite, which is also just as powerful as the TBs. And you make it with crystals, and you can use different crystals depending on what you're making the organite specifically for. Say someone's ill that you can use amethyst for healing. You can use all different stones you can use for the different qualities, anything that the person that you're making it for is in need of. And I always used, of course, the quartz crystal, and that's for protection and peace and love and energy in it. And there's a lot of intention that goes into your organite, and what you do is you use shapes and use molds, and you use a resin and metals. I like to use copper, and I like to wrap my crystals, my main crystal, with copper, usually in a clockwise way. And sometimes I'll add copper spirals as well, depending on what we're doing with the organite. And you can customize them to each person that you're sending them to, which is what I normally do. I make most pieces that I design for specific people and specific needs. And I find that, for example, I've done experiments with my organite, like in my tomato plants. I started some tomato plants last summer, and I put a piece of organite in one and not one in the other. And the organite plant was, I swear to God, 3 times bigger. The cats lay all over them. The dogs lay on them. The dogs love them. I lived in this condo apartments for a couple of years with a freaking one of those evil towers in my parking lot. And man, the difference in my house and my neighbors' houses was incredible, unbelievable. I mean, really, it makes a big difference. It's really good to have around your Wi-Fi routers, any sort of, all of your whole house. I mean, it's good for your house. It takes negative and turns to positive. I should flip that and reverse it if I'm talking about ions, but energy, they say, and I don't know how this works, but it does seem to, negative energy to positive. And protection organite is very strong for chasing away unwanted, evil intents or evil spirits or evil, whatever you want to call it, directed towards you. You find that it works amazingly well. And of course I can make them in any color and any work. I don't know if anybody has seen those little unicorn poop things they're making all everywhere, but I found out that I got a unicorn poop cupcake mold, and I found that the strongest on my organite that I've been able to make so far has been with the poop shapes. So that's pretty funny. But I make pyramid shapes, and the champagne glass shape is very strong and powerful as well as the straight. What's it called? Like a shape you use from a funnel shape. Anyway, so I'm going to make some more videos about how to, but this is just a little talk about organite. Right now I'm at my favorite beautiful San Marcos River. The river comes from the springs about a quarter mile from where I am here, and this river recharges me. It is the fountain of youth. It heals me, and I try to swim as much as possible. But I'm going to go recharge and float around and do some meditating in the water and swim around and look for some beautiful shells or rocks to go in my organite. And I will talk to you guys soon. And in my next video, I'll show you how to make some organite. Okay? All right. I love you all, family. And I'm going to also be doing soon some videos about more ways to help us protect ourselves from the increasing 5G and the increasing frequencies that we're being attacked with, and as well as the poisons that are coming. The cloudbuster in my yard just dissipates the chemtrails like nobody's business with a prayer or two. I don't even have to meditate very long with that cloudbuster now. It clears my area like that. Anyway, it's all about the intention and love, and it's 6:34, guys. We're doing a 6 o'clock prayer wave. I prayed. Everybody pray everywhere at 6 o'clock, or meditate towards what we want our world to be, and we want our world to be positive and beautiful. We want the evil to go away. We can't fight them with violence. That's just what they want. But we must fight them with our souls and our minds and our hearts and our knowledge. And we must wake our brothers and sisters up, and we must try together to stop some of the division, especially amongst ourselves. And I love you guys. I love you all. And I'll show you a little bit of my river real quick. Hold on for now.